the Houses of Parliament. This is where the government has designed and devised RDR, the Retail Distribution Review, resulting in a set of new regulations that will govern the practices of IFAs. And finally, after years in the making, advisors find themselves on the eve of the enactment of RDR, and ready or not, they must conform to it all. And on this eve, inside the House of Commons, some of the very best IFAs have gathered to collect Incisive Media's Gold Standard Awards, which recognise their endeavour and practice of excellence. I took the opportunity to ask them whether they believed RDR would be a big bang revolution or an evolution that would take place over a number of years.
Well, to my mind, we started our journey in RDR seven years ago, so for us it's been an evolution. I think for many it may be a revolution, and it may be a revolution too far. There are a number of challenges facing firms as they move into this new world, and for those that haven't prepared for it, I think they're going to find a big shock. So I think the time for evolution is finished. We're now in the time for a revolution.
It's a slightly difficult question to answer. I think there are two speeds to RDR. There's those of us who think we were ahead of RDR. We've been fee-based, we believed in qualification, we believed in moving forward. And there's other firms who I think it will be a big bang for. They're rapidly having to build models to deal with this new way of doing business.
My view is that RDR will be massive. I think a lot of firms have kidded themselves that it'll be quite easy. I think probably by July next year it will finally hit home how massive the changes are. It took us good 2 years when we went fee-based in 2008 to actually come up with a proposition that our clients valued. It was a reasonable cost, and sadly a lot of firms that have left at the last minute haven't got the opportunity to make those changes in the time that we did.
It has to be a big bang because it's a cliff edge. At the end of December, that's it. And there are lots of advisory firms that are still trying to sell themselves off prior to RDR, and there are advisors who are still trying to get their practicing certificate, the certificate of professional standing. And you know, I spoke to somebody the other day who said he didn't have the qualifications needed, but he might do to keep his registration up. At this point, you know, halfway through November, he was making a statement like that. It's impossible. So I think we will lose a lot of people and we will lose firms, but this might not be a bad thing.
I think the Retail Distribution Review will be both a big bang revolution and an evolution which takes place over a number of years. It will certainly be a big bang for firms that aren't prepared for it on the 1st of December, but for a lot of firms I think the reality of the RDR won't sink in for a year or two, so for them it could be more of an evolution.
RDR has been coming in for a number of years now. I think there's a lot of people that may have been under the illusion that it wasn't going to occur. We've known it was going to occur at Talbot Clark. We're fully prepared for it and have been for some time now. I think there probably are some advisors out there that are probably hoping it's not going to occur on the date it is. But whether there will be the big influx of clients at the start of January that probably don't have a home as such, only time will tell for that. But I think just being prepared really for the unknown, and we can only really prepare ourselves and see what happens.
I think both. I think initially there is going to be a bang at the beginning of the year. I think after that, I think it will be a gradual evolution as the industry gets used to the new rules. Really, it's an evolution process, I believe. It's a big shock to many advisors. I don't honestly believe it should be a big shock, because if you've been doing things right and putting the client at the front of everything that you do, RDR is very simply part and parcel of your whole process. So it shouldn't be a big transition, and for hopefully most, unfortunately we've seen it is, but in that respect I feel that RDR is only the first step. I think RDR is really the tip of the iceberg. I think it needs to go much further to improve the qualifications, the standards, the ethics of all the advisors in the industry. And again, the net result of that will hopefully be that clients receive the best possible advice, with them being the #1 priority.
I then asked these Gold Standard Award-winning IFAs whether they believed the new regulations would put back some of the public's trust in the financial services sector.
I really do hope so. Trust needs to be put back into the industry after all the mis-selling scandals that we've seen over many years. Unfortunately, that damage has been done by a few rather than the majority. But hopefully the changes that are coming into practice from next year should hopefully result in more confidence in the industry, awards such as this will help with that confidence building as well, and it's up to us and obviously everyone within the industry to publicise what's going on, what changes are happening, and to, as I say, hopefully improve the confidence that the public have in financial advisors.
Yes, I think it will. I think basically the more information that's available to clients and the more transparent we become makes us look a lot more professional, and I think it will help us a lot.
I think it definitely will put back some trust, but I think what it will do is put the control back with the client. And I think that option of the best way for them to take financial advice, whether it be on an execution-only basis, from an advisor themselves, and to feel that they are getting a full service for those charges, I think it will. I think it actually puts the value for money back idea back for the clients, and I think that can only add trust.
We absolutely believe that the new regulations on fees and commissions will restore some trust in the financial services sector. It certainly introduces a great deal of transparency, and where transparency has been lacking in the past, we think has been at the root of some of the issues to do with lack of consumer trust.
I think what's really important for clients is that fees and charges are transparent, and certainly we've been operating in an RDR way for the last 5 to 7 to 5 years, and as such clients really understand what they're paying for and what value they get out of the charges that they pay. I think for some firms who have not gone through that process, one of the issues for them will be transparency and actually being open and honest and upfront with what charges actually are. Initially, clients start to question what are all these charges. They've been there all the time. RDR helps you explain what they are, why they're there, what they're for, and therefore the clients get a better understanding.